everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, February 4th, 2024. Do you guys remember a couple of years ago when Nikki was barely on this show? She was doing nothing but just stopping by for tea and advice. And that is not what we are dealing with today, baby. She is back, baby. She is back, and she is freaking out. Sweeping those papers right off of her desk and then grabbing both sides of her head like she was going insane at the mere idea that Jordan could be taunting her once again with that swanky stripper music, calling her from an unknown number. That is drama. Woo. And next week, Victor and Jack are going to be finding her in a dive bar. Ooh. The scandal. I love it. I love it. I can't help myself. I love it. It's kind of like the Victor, Nikki, Jack triangle of old repeating itself, and I never got to see it the first time around. I started watching the show in 93, and Jack and Nikki divorced in 94. So I only ever saw the tail end of Jack and Nikki's relationship. So forgive me if my imagination is captured by the juicy possibilities here, using the classic characters, given some nostalgia. And, you know, for me, I think probably because I didn't see it the first time around, I don't mind having the stories recycled a little bit if there's a new element here. And let us please not forget that all of these characters are not that person anymore that they used to be decades ago. So I love the idea of playing out this old drunken scenario with the characters in the places that they are today. Nikki's a new woman. She's a different woman than she was decades ago. And Nikki and Victor have been happily stale, a little bit stale for years now. I mean, I love the romance of Nikki and Victor, and I don't want them to divorce or anything like that. I'm not complaining about Nikki and Victor and where they are in their lives and that the marriage has been stable. And I'm also not going to complain about the fact that Jack and Diane are married and stable, because I think they're beautiful together. I'm sure that they are humping like rabbits on a regular basis, and I'm so happy for Jack for that. But it's interesting, it's story, because also there's no overt romanticism going on here. It's not like, I'm not getting vibes that Nikki and Jack are falling back in love with each other, but I do think that there's some possibility here. I mean, what we have is Nikki saying that she feels more comfortable confiding in Jack about her sobriety struggle than she does confiding in Victor about it. So here, she has this intimacy with Jack about this issue that's in the forefront of her life that she doesn't have with Victor. And then Jack has his feelings of guilt from the first place when she started drinking, and which is compelling him to be lying to her husband about it all. Jack is lying to her husband for her we have Victor over here with his decades-long feud with Jack. And that feud between Victor and Jack has also been kind of happily stale for years now. We're seeing it have this sort of nice, flowing escalation of aggravation between them. It's like it starts, they're okay. We haven't had a whole lot of problems recently, but you can feel the tension is bubbling. They're starting to butt heads. Victor knows that Nikki's seeing Jack again, that she's confiding in him again. He sees the writing on the wall and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like kicking up this old dust. And yet I do. I love kicking up the dust here. I feel like we're digging up dirt, we're digging up dust, and it won't be that much longer before we dig so deep that we're gonna start finding bones. The real cherry on top of the dirt pile here, I think, is Ashley. And right now, these stories aren't exactly connected, but I think they have the potential to be. Ashley flew all the way to Paris this week to question the cafe waiter, only to find out that she was wrong. There was no violent blowout with Tucker in public, unless Tucker paid off the waiter, which is possible, but Ashley has no evidence of that. Not even the audience knows that. Not even the audience has evidence of that. And so we're also left with this cloud of uncertainty hanging around the whole thing. It's a cloud of uncertainty that, frankly, I think only a Y&R Chat poll can resolve. I can't believe I haven't asked this yet, so I'm going to ask it this week. You guys, is Tucker gaslighting Ashley? What's your prediction on that? What's your opinion on that? Go to yrchat.com and cast your vote. Is Tucker gaslighting Ashley? And well, he told Audra this week that he is emphatically not doing that. So I'm voting that he is. That's my guess. And I totally support the character arc for both Tucker and Ashley here, because for Tucker, if he is gaslighting her, it lets him keep that sharp edge that I like about the character of Tucker. And for Ashley, this story also encompasses her history of past mental instability. And I think even if she didn't have that past mental instability, it's not uncommon for anyone, to get stuck in a mental cycle, just like, I just can't get out of this. It's this thing and it's driving me mad and it's all I can think about. I mean, who hasn't had that happen, be it big or small? Even if Ashley has beaten this kind of thing before, even if she has all the tools in her toolbox to beat it, it's totally common that she would go back to some old mental habits. And at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing that Nikki's going through, really. I mean, Nikki beat her alcoholism before, and it came back. Ashley beat her mental demons before, and it came back. And in both cases, it started out small. One drink, or one moment of questioning yourself. And then it all from there just spirals to another and another and another until you're so sucked into the tornado that you can't even see out anymore. I get it. And I think it's fascinating. And I think it's true. I think it's very true to life. Nikki and Ashley are both going through the same thing effectively. And here's where it gets juicy. Jack, Ashley's brother, is real busy helping Nikki right now. And so you never know. I think it's an absolute possibility that Victor, Nikki's husband, could end up being the one to help Ashley. Ugh, heaven help me. I love Tucker and Audra's sexy, scorned, competitive relationship where they are stroking each other one minute and then stabbing each other in the back in the next minute. They both want to dominate the other one. It is so amazing to watch. That's hot to me. I don't know about you, but that's hot to me. Because it's totally irrational, right? It's an irrational relationship. It's impractical. It's immature when you get right down to it. And so that's exactly the kind of fantasy that I'm in for. It's just the fantasy that I need. Because it's exactly the relationship I would never want in reality. Last week, Tucker tells Audra he can't live without her. And so she tells him to go to hell, of course. And then this week, she gets fired from Newman Media and she goes crawling back to him. And then he tells her to go to hell, of course. And then a day later, boom, they're in bed together. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And I have felt for a while now that Tucker and Audra's relationship is way more balanced than Tucker's relationship with Ashley ever was. Tucker's relationship with Ashley was all him crawling to her and her holding his leash. I feel like Tucker and Audra have got each other on the same leash and they just take turns holding it. Audra thinks that she is going to find a way to smuggle Glissade away from Tucker. I think to hurt him. I think she wants to hurt him the way that he has hurt her, which is classic. I mean, yeah, they're in bed together now as of Friday, but you know by Tuesday it's going to be all warring again. And I think she knows that. I don't think she trusts it. He has pledged to her that, he's chosen her, but how long is that going to last? I think her plan to try to get Glissade is on. It's on. She's not going to stop until she gets it. But Tucker was on to her immediately. And I think it's also really compelling that he's going to let her try. He knows what she's trying to do, and he's going to let her try because it gets them both off. And she's going to try to rope Nate into it all because she's bored and she has no sex partner right now and no job right now. Nikki firing Audra for daring to acknowledge the truth about her sobriety, it's just downright lawsuit worthy. I cannot even believe how well Audra took it. Because Nikki basically said, ugh, you found out my personal secret that I am ashamed of, and so you make me uncomfortable now, and so you should just go away. I shouldn't have to deal with you because I'm more important than you, and my needs are more important than yours. It's criminal. It is downright criminal. Oh, I know. Tucker covered up someone else's mistake at McCall Unlimited. But, well, Nikki just committed wrongful termination. I feel like Audra should, I don't know, go to the media and expose Nikki and then sue her pantsuit off. Sue her fabulous pantsuit right off of her for that. But for some reason, Audra is just being really nice, really compassionate, probably because of the experience she went through with her father. But I mean, that would not be enough to make me go ahead and be like, okay, I'll just let you unjustly fire me. I don't know. Audra is, I guess, just choosing to be the bigger person and bowing down to the queen. Okay. Nikki is in deep trouble. All she is doing by removing Audra is removing an obstacle to her being able to drink. She's removed Victor. He's an obstacle to her being able to drink. She's removed Victor by getting Jack to become her ally. And now she's removed Audra. So she's removing obstacles to her drinking. I mean, she told Jack that she feels like both Victor and Audra are watching her. Yeah, they are watching you, and maybe you needed that. Did that ever occur to you, Nikki, that maybe you needed somebody right there watching you to help keep you in check so that you don't give in to the darker urges? Well, Jack has said that he's going to help her get a new COO. Just going to pull that out of his hat. I don't know who that could be. Except Kyle. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's Kyle. Kyle has so much spare time at Jabot, just whipping up internship reports that, I don't know, maybe he can just swing on by Newman Media and whip up a few reports for Nikki while he's at it. Yes, I love a complicated romance. I really do. Complicated romance and drama, that is my form of entertainment. And I love that Y&R is giving us that complicated, unconventional romance between Tucker and Audra. But, at the same time, I love that Y&R is also giving us this storybook, fairy tale romance with Summer and Chance. Traditional. It's traditional. You know, first date, suit and tie, ball gown, matching burgundy. I mean, they matched. That's the real stunner of it all, was that they just so happened to pick the same shade of burgundy. Ugh, gorgeous. I love the traditional. Man takes woman's coat, pulls chair out, pours the champagne. Yes, please. Yes. Traditional romance is not dead. It has its place. And I feel that traditional does not equal boring. Because it doesn't matter whether it's happening in bed or happening at the dinner table. Dating is all about discovery. You know, discovering someone new, maybe even discovering something new about yourself as you suddenly start to see yourself through that other person's eyes. Like, all that's there no matter what the particular dynamic is. And I thought it was great that Summer and Chance were saying, let's use this traditional first date format to talk about some of the non-traditional parts of us, such as Summer's grand theft auto charges, for instance. Adam and Sally seem to fall somewhere between the unconventional and the traditional. They're kind of unconventionally traditional, I guess. How about that? Does that work for you? Well, this week, apparently, soap opera kids are striking back because Connor is struggling at school. Lucy is eavesdropping on Heather and Daniel. And Christian's at home waiting for tacos and video game night with Nick. That's what the kids are doing right now. I wonder if Sharon is going to be invited over for tacos and video games nights one of these times. Because Sharon and Nick are inching. They're inching back toward each other, aren't they? It's ever so slight. Ever so slightly. Sharon is not looking for love. Oh no. She is busy with her video calls. And Nick is there though. You know, he's looking on her lovingly as she's, you know, taking charge in this new business venture of hers. He's looking at her like, you know, she's not quite the girl that he fell in love with in high school. She's better. Maybe hoping that he's better now too. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. Especially as long as we are done with Nick longing for Sally. I'm so happy to be out of that triangle. I can't even tell you. Adam and Sally are really a perfect pair. I think they deserve some low-key happiness for a little while. But I have to say, the whole Connor's in trouble, we better do something plot is overdone, and I'm tired of it. And I'm really tired of hearing Sally reassuring Adam about everything all the time. This is all that they tend to do in their relationship lately. It goes like this. Adam says, I'm bad and I know it. And then Sally says, no, Adam, you're not bad. You're good. And that's it. That's all they do. It's that conversation over and over again, but with more words. I want to see Adam stand up for himself. I want to see Adam believe in himself, not temper himself all the time. Okay, he's not Father of the Year, fine. But he is darn sure better than the one that he had himself. And I think sometimes that's the best you can be. Chelsea's not exactly Mother of the Year either. Chelsea seems to be gearing up for an argument with Adam over Connor's trouble at school. But Billy, surprisingly, was encouraging her to pull it back, take a step back, don't jump to any conclusions. And I don't know. I just feel like both of these couples, Billy and Chelsea and Adam and Sally, need a better challenge than an off-screen kid crisis. It's boring. And I guess if you have to do a kid crisis, then at least give me an on-screen kid. At least Lucy was an on-screen kid this week, eavesdropping on Daniel and Heather's reunion, but it's complicated talk. Maybe it's time that Lucy earn her soap opera kid stripes and do something to help it all along. Like, oh, I don't know, texting that New Year's Eve snuggle photo to Lily. Life is too short to dance around the truth. Yes, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon, for saying that. I agree. Life is too short to dance around the truth. That was last week's Who Said It quote. Quite a few of you guessed it. I'm a little surprised. I thought that one was going to be harder. So I have to say congratulations to Hannah. Wonderful, Wendy. You are wonderful. Ron and Henry, Justin, Brittany, Dolores, Sharon W., and Tony. You guys got it. I think this one is going to be hard, though. So buckle up. Who said this? Are you a part of the human race? I don't know. It just struck me as a very odd question, a very odd line. Are you a part of the human race? You don't know who said it, do you? Okay, well, if you do, but you don't, this is so hard. But if you do, go to yrchat.com, leave me your guess, and if you get it right, shout out shall be yours on next week's Y&R Chat. Let's check in on last week's poll question. I asked you guys, Heather and Daniel, hot or not? I cannot freaking believe that 63% of you, the strong majority of you, voted not hot. What is wrong with you? Is it just because it's cheating? Look at you guys, all up there on your moral high horses, and I'm down here like, this is kind of hot. Oh, what a naughty girl I am. No comments about it, though, so I'm guessing that it's mostly just about, maybe you don't connect with the Heather character, and then you're also like, well, what about Lily? I can understand it. It's just that you're all wrong. Oh, hey, Sherrod says, Michelle Morgan is headed back to Y&R as Amanda Sinclair. I hope she's returning to help Lily deal with terminating those cheating twosomes, Heather and Daniel. I saw that Michelle Morgan is coming back. Is it long-term or is it short-term? That's what I don't know the answer to. And how is she going to fit into the current story? Maybe she's going to be doing some legal work at Chancellor Winters. Maybe she's going to, especially now that Abby's coming back there, maybe she's going to be part of a triangle for them? I don't know. But speaking of that, Sharon W. says, what prize could Abby be dangling in front of Tessa? Could she want Tessa to manage society for her? I could get behind that because I'd get to see Tessa more often. But it doesn't seem to match her skill set. Tessa already has a music contract with Devon. I wonder what it could be. Hopefully it's not just a play date with Dom and Arya. Yeah, no, I think totally it's going to be Abby asking Tessa to manage society since she's gone to work at Chancellor Winters. I absolutely think that's going to be what it is. And you're right, it doesn't match Tessa's skill set, but it might appeal to Tessa because then it would give her something to do in town so she can still kind of earn some money and be close to Arya if she's not touring or something. And you're right, we would see her on screen more often. And she did work at the coffee house for quite a while, so maybe she does have that skill set. I just think it would be so much better to see her working with Chelsea and Summer at Marchetti. Actually see her doing the modeling thing. I think Sherrod mentioned last week that, yeah, if we're going to have somebody come in and model some of Chelsea's designs, why not have it be Tessa, considering the fact that she is a Marchetti model? Yeah, so I guess that part just got dropped, but maybe we'll end up seeing her more often if she's working at Society. Oh, here we go. Victoria says, I loved the tete-a-tete with Victor and Jack. These veteran actors used their history to entertain us. Much of the acting was in facial gestures and sounds that they made. You could see the maturity of their characters as they pulled back from verbal punches. Victor gave very little information to his former foe. However, they continue to hold back once Victor knows. However, will they continue to hold back once Victor knows that Jack is Nikki's new confidant? Yeah, I think you commented about that after the scene at the bar between Victor and Jack, which was absolutely great. And it was just like, they're being unusually civil. And then I really loved when Victor went to his office and revealed to Nick that he knows Jack was trying to get information out of him. Then he goes to Nikki's office and finds them together, and he does confront them, and Jack lies. Jack lies for Nikki. Ooh. This is going to be bad for Nikki and Victor's marriage, and it is certainly bad for Victor and Jack's ceasefire as of the last couple years. Well, Sharon W. also says Jack did an amazing job to Victor, lying about how he and Nikki ran into each other, and he accompanied her back to her office. But according to next week's previews, I assume Nikki may turn on Jack and blame him for forcing her to be reliant on him for his help. Nikki will cling to Victor for his love and his support, while Diane will become more disillusioned and angry at being overlooked because of the ever-present needs of Nikki and Ashley. Ooh, Sharon W., I think you hit the nail on the head with Diane there. She's being real patient right now, but you're right. She's going to start to feel overlooked because Jack is giving all of his attention to Nikki and Ashley. I think as far as finding Nikki in the bar, though, it's like Victor immediately finds her at the table, gives her the kiss, is like, my baby. And then she looks up and she sees Jack, and she's mad at Jack. So I think she's going to feel betrayed, as if Jack was the one to tell Victor and they teamed up to try to find her. So I think she's going to feel like Jack betrayed her confidence. But I was thinking that maybe Jack didn't actually do that, and that she's just making that presumption, and that she's going to end up kind of busting herself out in that moment. But we'll find out. We'll see how it really shakes out. Tony says, I did not want to revisit the Nikki addiction storyline. Send the actress on holiday for Nikki's rehab and then come back with a firm commitment to sobriety. End of that. She can do it. Yeah, I saw a couple comments this week of people who are just like, Nikki's sobriety, let's get back on track and get on with it. I can feel that. Nikki, that's the thing again, I have historically not liked Nikki's sobriety storylines, and it's exactly because of that. It drags. Laura says, what I don't like is Nikki relying on Jack to fix things. That's her becoming beholden and overly thankful to her sponsor. Not emotionally healthy. That being said, I can't wait for the blowout when Victor and Jack come to blows over Nikki. Yeah, Nikki did say, she said something like, oh, Jack, I'm doing as good as I am today because of you. She actually said that. She said, thanks to you. But then I just fell off the wagon again. I couldn't help myself, but thanks to you, you're the one, like Jack's the one holding it together for her. It does feel like dependent-y, and that's where I think it would be helpful to have someone as a sponsor who really knows the program and, really is an alcoholic. Jack still drinks! I cannot, it's the excuse that they ran into each other at an AA meeting when Jack totally drinks it just doesn't fit. But he did say, AA is a good resource for all kinds of addiction. So, I guess. It's not as much, the problem with Jack being her sponsor is less about the fact that he's not an alcoholic and more about the fact that he's her ex-husband. Gary has the zinger of the week here, saying, yes, Jack. Letting Audra go is part of Nikki's recovery, just like letting you go would be part of her recovery, too. You are a complicated disaster as a sponsor. Yes, I think you're totally right, and I like the way you put it. Yeah, letting Audra go is part of the recovery. Well, letting go of Jack should be part of the recovery, too. Naomi says, could it be Theo that Jack is bringing back for Nikki's Cocoa Puffs position vacated by Audra? I hope so, and I hope it's not a recast. Oh, that would be amazing, Theo. That would be so fun. Wait, could that be what Amanda's going to be doing when she gets back into town? Could she be the co-CEO that's going to help Nikki? Jack and Amanda are friends. Ooh, ding, ding, ding. That could be it. Theo would be better, though. I'll never forget Theo. I'll never stop clinging to the hope that he'll be back someday. That guy was a star. Connie says, during the scene with Nikki and Jack, am I the only one that was distracted by the mysterious bag on the office table? At first glance, I thought it looked like a bag of carrots, and I knew that couldn't be right. So I looked again, and I thought it might be pretzels. Phew! Thank goodness Nikki confirmed the pretzel guess, but I hope I didn't miss any valuable dialogue over the prop. See, I think that was great because the dialogue's all the same. Throw a bag of pretzels on the table, and now that is something to talk about. That bag of pretzels is the star of the week. That and the video game and tacos night at Nick's house. Well, Dolores says, Victor's security team hasn't been doing such a bang-up good job lately protecting the ranch in the past, so I expect Jordan to show up any day now. Of course, she survived the fire. First to see the supposedly guarded Claire, and then with an office surprise visit to Nikki, the crazy fun is about to start. Yes, and I feel about Jordan kind of the way that Nikki does. It's like I'm going a little crazy wondering when she's going to pop up on screen. When are we going to see her again? And speaking of crazy, Gary says, I'm not a crower, but I told you all that Ashley would get lost, ditching her hovering sister and wandering in the fog in the city of lights not to be heard from again. I can't cry over it. And does every location in Paris have to have the corny Eiffel Tower hovering in the background? C'est la vie, Ashley Abbott. Classic Bill Bell Y&R. You're crazy, Ashley. Classic Bill Bell Y&R. Oh, you're crazy now. And dang, yeah, that Eiffel Tower. Yeah, that was cheese. I hope no one out there is lactose intolerant, because having the Eiffel Tower in the background while she was making the phone call to Tucker, that was cheesy. Gary also says, I actually thought I saw Allie and Noah in the background, but it probably wasn't them. Yeah, Allie and Noah, aren't they supposedly in Paris too? Yeah, Allie's at the Jabot Paris office. So yeah, they were up in the Eiffel Tower. That would have been the ultimate cheese if it was Eiffel Tower and then Noah and Allie just walked by in the background unacknowledged. That would have been good. All right. Well, Dolores says, oh my, the Tucker and Audra dance, in quotes, continues. Hot sex and a total commitment made. Tucker said he didn't like the ultimatums, yet he caved to Audra saying, I choose you, after she demanded that he forget Ashley. I think that Tucker is not fooled by where Audra's head is and what she's all about. He's going along for the benefits regardless, but he's always canny and or cagey as well as guarded when he is working many personal and professional angles. Yeah, I don't think Audra's fooling anybody, and it's kind of great. Robin says, I still think Audra might end up with Victor for a bit. Victor and Nikki are headed for trouble with Smile and Jack. I know, I had a weird feeling about that too a couple months ago, though. Or more than a couple months ago. I thought, I wonder if Audra's going to try to seduce Victor one of these days. It could happen. Naomi says, I loved Tucker giving his coat to Audra to keep her warm while they talked. I really loved it when he told her to keep it because it looks good on her. He's so comfortable being very close physically and emotionally with Audra. They do have a connection. Yes, Naomi, I think they do too. I love that too. The giving of the coat. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be harsh with you, but I don't want you to freeze, and I'm still a gentleman, damn it. Ellen says, yeah, just when you think Tucker's a scoundrel, he does something very thoughtful without even thinking. He's such a great character and actor. Ooh, I like that, Ellen. Very thoughtful without even thinking. So good. And I thought Naomi had kind of an interesting perspective here on Tucker, saying, well, Tucker is and is not evil. That's just where it needs to be. He is and is not evil. That works for me. That's kind of maybe that's how Adam used to be written. Kind of miss that about him. Gary says, hello, friends. As Allie was recently able to successfully take a sarcastic dig at the credibility of Gary's phone says segment, here's another one from the Loopy Soap Hub. Picking up an old theme of Actually Mine, they are now supposing that Adam will be the hero and save the day in the next Aunt Jordan onslaught. Good guess, but Fool me once, it's on you. Fool me 3 times, it's on me. How many times must we be misled by this false concept? But then again, it said 3rd time's a charm. So in my opinion, it is imperative that Adam ride to the rescue for the most satisfying of reasons. To pull all the Newmans in their place. To put all the Newmans in their place. If Nick does one more smug character analysis of Adam, Ellen and I will retch. Yeah, I love the idea of Adam riding into the rescue. And then Nikki falling in love with him. Sue W. says, but what will the devoted fans have to bemoan when a heroic, lovable Adam is finally accepted by his family, by his then groveling and humbled family? A thank you next, addressing the never-ending litany of other complaints, I suppose. Yeah, if Adam is ever not the underdog, what will we have to complain about? Myself included. Last comment. Victoria says, this is picky, but I sure wish that Sharon or Esther would change the table centerpieces at Crimson Lights. They are fall leaves. Valentine's Day is coming up. It'd be nice to see some centerpieces with hearts. Hearts would set the mood for our soon-to-occur Sharon and Nick reunion. Set design has stepped things up lately, but this is a miss. Gosh, I'm so glad somebody finally acknowledged that, because it's been driving me crazy that we still have all of this fall decor. It is true. It is unacceptable to still have crispy fall leaves on those tables at Crimson Lights. Somebody better get on that. Look, it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, but somebody better put a pine cone in the middle of one of those tables or something. It's winter. Maybe Sharon should put balloons on the center of each table to celebrate Michelle's birthday on February 10th. Would you like that, Michelle? If we had Esther or Sharon go along and just put a little happy birthday, Michelle centerpiece on each of the Crimson Lights tables. I feel that would be an appropriate celebration for your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Michelle. Why don't you come by the website and tell us what you're going to be doing for your big day? And everyone else is welcome to do the same. Come on by the website, yrchat.com. I do so appreciate all of your just exceptional comments that you leave there. It's always a pleasure reading them and going through them and presenting them here on Y&R Chat. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. So I will see you guys next Sunday for more of this. I love you guys. Bye.